Welcome to Understanding Buddhism in America. My name is Mike, and today's shoutouts go to Yuli and Kara. Thank you for the emails. I wanted to say that I'm really sorry I haven't been updating this podcast as much as I used to. My house has been under construction, and I record all of my podcasts at home, so I really didn't want to torture all of my listeners with all these loud, long, annoying noises that are going on around me all the time. For instance, right now, there's a very loud, industrial-sized fan blowing right outside of my door, but I'm going to try my best to keep it out of the recording for you. Over the past month, I've found myself a little saddened. Everyone gets this way once in a while, and I'm definitely no different. So I really explored into it, and I really meditated on it, and what I came up with was today's talk. So today, I want to talk about life. Life never seems as easy as it should be, does it? I often find myself thinking that I want the perfect life. I want to be able to afford the things I want, to feel loved by my friends and family, and to be fearless in the face of adversity. There comes a point in everyone's life when we try to measure ourselves. Maybe we think the more friends we have or the more popular we are, the more we're worth. Maybe we think the more money we have or the better our careers are going somehow enhances our value. We might even think the more love we give, or the more time we spend with others, the better our lives will be. Rarely do we ask ourselves the right questions. Why are we measuring in the first place? Who are we trying to measure up to? What happens if we find we're not up to our expectations? Or better yet, what happens if we find we are? These seem like pretty deep questions, but they are the ones that lead to a change of mind. If we're measuring ourselves in our lives, it means we're looking for something within us to prove to ourselves that we're successes. We're looking for validation that we're on the right track. We want others to see us as constantly progressing, fearing that too much regularity makes us appear stale. We want to see ourselves as the heroes of our lives, capable of anything, unbreakable, and filled with passion. This seems perfect to us. This seems like the perfect life. If we're living up to these ideals, it means others will respect us, love us, and look up to us. But trying to measure up to a hero or an ideal is impossible. Ideals are like infinity. We can try to count to it for our entire lives, but we'll never get there, no matter how hard we try, because it's an abstract. It just isn't possible. When I find myself trying to measure my life, most of the time I'm measuring against other people's successes. As soon as I realize I'm doing this, I realize how pointless it is. You can't possibly measure yourself to someone else. Everyone has their own pasts, their own personalities, and their own drives in life. If the entire human race can be described as any one word, that word would have to be diverse. We're all different. We're apples and oranges. We shouldn't be trying to compare ourselves to others because that's also impossible. But the good news is we don't need to achieve the impossible, but rather we need to realize why we're trying to achieve the impossible. When we try to measure our own lives, it's simply desire. As with any desire, we feel discouraged, saddened, unworthy, or even depressed when we don't get what we want. Even if I did achieve the perfect life, it wouldn't be perfect forever, because like any other desire, eventually it would change or I would. Maybe my house would be destroyed by a tornado, and my perfect life is shattered because my idea was to have the perfect shelter. Maybe the very moment I had absolutely everything I thought I needed to attain the perfect life, I'd just be bored with everything I'd have. Then my perfect life wouldn't have changed, but rather my idea of a perfect life would have changed. Desires are tricky like that. They stem from our own minds, and yet always appear to be external. So we constantly try to bat them away like mosquitoes, but they just keep coming back. For example, if I want to eat some pizza, that's fine. But then I want to drink water, and then maybe I get heartburn, and I want to sleep better. Or maybe I want seconds. Or maybe then I want to lose weight because I had too much. And then I want to eat healthier. And then I realize pizza is just more delicious, so I want some more of that. I don't even realize it when I'm doing it, but I'm trying to bat away all of these mosquitoes by letting them drink my blood. Trying to fulfill desires is no more effective at ending desire than trying to get rid of mosquitoes by feeding them your own blood. It doesn't make an ounce of sense, but I keep doing it over and over again, assuming that eventually all of the mosquitoes will just go away on their own. After all, they're full, right? But I'm feeding them. They're not gonna go away. They're gonna set up shop and they're gonna give birth to another generation of desires. This will happen over and over again. And it's not because I'm doing a bad job, but because I'm doing the wrong one. Now, I could try and starve the mosquitoes or run away from them as fast as I can so they can't bite me anymore, but desires live inside of us. They're not going anywhere. You can choose not to fulfill them all you want, but as long as you're alive, so are they. So what's the answer? It's interesting how many of my questions about life can be answered with one single word. Acceptance. Desires aren't bad or evil, they're just there. They just exist. Clearly you can do bad and evil things with desire, but I'm talking about desire itself. To try and rid ourselves of desire is pointless. It's like trying to rid the entire ocean of salt. Even if we could do it or something close, it would only make the world worse. All the life in the ocean would die. Buddha discovered this firsthand. He lived out in the forest trying to starve his desires to the point where he almost died. But he figured out the truth of desire before it was too late. The truth is, you just have to accept it. Don't feed the mosquito, or it'll want more. Don't swat at it or run away, or it'll be angry and chase you. Instead, just accept desire. It's part of you. It doesn't need to go away, so stop trying to make it go away. You already know that both fulfilling all your desires and depriving all your desires won't do any good when it comes to ending your desires. Acceptance is like a warm hand to hold in the snowstorm of desire. As soon as acceptance is there, it's not that the desires go away forever, they just fade into the background. They become unimportant. Let's take the pizza example again. Let's say I want pizza. Now I could order some, hoping that it would fulfill my desire for pizza once and for all, but I know I could suffer from pizza. I'd have less money, I'd probably gain weight. If I eat too much of it, I could even have health problems. Now, I could deprive myself of pizza, hoping that that would eliminate my desire for pizza once and for all, but why would I? Pizza isn't evil, it tastes great, and I could even make a really healthy pizza at home. What in the world am I going to do? The answer is acceptance. If I accept that I want pizza, suddenly it doesn't seem like a big deal anymore. I also accept that my desire to have pizza may influence not only my actions, but my very perception. My desire could cause me to start thinking that pizza is evil, and I may try and get it banned. Or I might start feeling like I am a failure if I'm on a diet or something. The point is, if you have a desire, don't see it as anyone's fault. Desires come and go without our permission, so why bother latching onto them at all? Instead of spending our time trying to fulfill or overcome our desires, we should be trying to rise above them. We should be trying to see how amazingly and sometimes horrifyingly influential they can be in our lives. Not only is it the easiest option, but it's also the most rewarding. If you take the time to understand how your desires affect you, then they have no power over you. While the rest of the world is essentially chasing their tails, you'll just be the observer. This isn't something difficult. It's much easier to let go of a heavy weight than to hold on to it. Who knows, maybe you letting go will help your friends let go. And maybe that'll make the world a better place. At the very least, instead of trying to measure your life in how many mosquitoes you've fed by fulfilling your desires, you might just start measuring your life in how many times you've let go of your desires. Then you just might let go of measuring. Thank you for listening to Understanding Buddhism in America. My name is Mike, and if you'd like to contact me for shoutouts, questions, or comments, you can email me at understandingbuddhisminamerica@gmail.com. I want to thank you again for being so patient with me over the past month. The construction in my house should be over by this weekend, so from now on, I should be able to do this once or twice a week, and it'll be updated a lot more regularly. I also wanted to say thank you to everyone who's been listening, because I am getting dangerously close to 10,000 downloads on my podcast, which I find insane. I find it incredible because I had no idea there were that many people out there interested in what I was talking about. I'm glad I can entertain you, so thank you for listening, and I'll see you next time.